winter season because that's when they're eating, when they're in peaks, and also clam, they're kind of festive. So maybe during the New Year, especially in the winter time.
Those are fun to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So free.
When I saw Takashi did that for the first time, it was when he bumped into it, accidentally. And he went, oh, and he fixed it. Or I thought he just fixed it, by doing that. But he just incorporated, or hide that bump by folding it in the middle. That was kind of magical moment,
Wow.
Everybody went, oh. When he accidentally
And that was the
bumped
best
it.
one, right? That was the best one. I mean, that they. So what's spring then? Since we're in spring.
Spring,
or actually we're almost summer, aren't we? Late spring.
Well, like general shape, like wide open shape is more hotter weather than closed shapes. And that's logic, right? Like persimmon flowers, like you mentioned, that's early summer, I guess. This time. Have you seen flowers of persimmon? Those are just kind of just like those parts, and very 3D, very sculptural, with points. And you think of columbine flowers? I think they are very sculptural. I wish I can. I haven't made a pot, but I wish I can make a pot out of that. But this one, because Mason requested a clam shape, that's what I do.
Maybe I've never seen you do it.
Let's see if I can do it. So when I get better, like toward the end of the day, maybe I can do this in one pull. But now I have to do it in 2 pulls. That one is smooth.
You have to pay attention when you're doing
If you do it 200, maybe toward the end of the day, it's a little more free.
Here.
Persimmon flowers, I tried that. Persimmon flower pot, shaped pot is only in Karatsu, but nowhere in Japan.
That's right, it's one of their signature.
Yeah, one of the few, very specific pot to Karatsu. Yeah. Maybe because there's lots of alteration there. And it's hard to do with the hand wheel.
So I know you're going to talk about this at your workshop, but you serve specific foods in the persimmon. Spring foods.
Yeah, because it has a specific season to be used. It's what's available then, not something that's available in the summer or in the winter.
You may have already mentioned this, sorry if I'm...
Okay.
But are the shapes endless, or are there a certain number of forms?
Endless.
Endless,
You just keep, in fact, the very first one, I don't think I've ever made that shape, the very first one. But the new shape usually comes from doing it, not when I'm sleeping, wake up and write it down.
Okay,
it's
as
it's
you work.
usually yeah. It's usually that way for me at least.
How long have you been potting, Kazu?
I did my apprenticeship with Takashi in the 2003 and 2004, and I got kicked out of his studio.
Because he felt you were ready to be on your own?
No,
Or?
because I couldn't graduate from the very first assignment.
Oh.
You think that's why, huh? I think you were competition.
No. We were supposed from his studio. We were supposed to graduate from this first assignment within a year, and it took more than a year and a half. I still couldn't finish it. So I didn't know how to throw cups.
Mhm.
That was the second assignment. I didn't know how to throw cups until 5 years ago, until I came back to the US.
What was the first assignment?
Maybe I can do that after this. No?
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's the only shape I made for the whole year and a half, and nothing else. And I make that every day, the whole time.
So do the apprentices stay with Takashi? Or do they move on and go to their own studios after they accomplish what they're supposed to?
Yeah, he says his program is 3 years. It's shorter or longer, depending on. There's no government department regulating this, so it's different from studio to studio. My teacher says you have to be done and be out of here in 3 years. If you stay longer, then you tend to make his parts and his shapes, and not your own. I didn't stay there for 3 years. I got kicked out after a year and a half, but I still work with him here and there, so I've been with him longer. And he has started telling me that I really should be making my own shapes. But that's hard to pull out, It's just trying to let it happen, and I admire his part so much. My shape tends to look like his. Yes. This is something he doesn't do. He came up with that particular shape, twisted stuff. What's it gonna do? Oh, maybe the plate.
Your very first assignment.
But I couldn't finish. I couldn't graduate. So it's just a simple. Right. So you were saying you put that slip on the rib, right? So I would collect all the slip from the hands, conditioning it at the same time, keeping the slip only on the working parts of the hands, but not on everywhere, because that makes your hand dry, and putting the slip mixture on the and moving it to where you need it. Take some for the outside. And,
That's something you do over and over and over, and you don't even
Yeah.
see that you're doing that.
Yeah.
And at some point it dawns on you that his legs are not covered with slip and his shirt. Studio.
Right.
so
He doesn't even have a
I'm
splash
supposed
pan.
to pour in one, but maybe I'll do two. So You are supposed to do it in one.
One.
You're saying one pole for the first step.
Yeah.
The feet are all usually the same on every, or do you ever vary the foot, the height of the foot?
Somewhat, depending on the shape.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Sometimes does any, like Mason's cup. Mason's cup has no, yes, yeah, that one. We just show that to people. It has no obvious conclusion or foot on the outside, but it's trimmed on the inside. We call that uchi kodai って言うんですけど、like inside foot. So there is a foot, but it's not obvious. That's what I usually do on this part.
What was the Japanese word?
Uchi kodai.
Uchi-kodai.
Uchi kodai. Kodai is foot. Uchi meaning inside, within. Did I?
Uchi-kodai.
And what I just put into this bowl inside here, the line, it's known as uchi kagami. Uchi kagami.
Kagami.
Yeah. And so the bowl is like that. No. This is what I did. Maybe around 100 bowls a day, before and after dinner, yeah. And 200 bowls maybe on weekends, and over a year and a half, and I couldn't graduate from that shape. He didn't let me fire any of those.
You didn't keep anything from your whole apprenticeship, yeah?
No, I couldn't.
Yeah.
I just wasn't allowed to fire it. We just wedge it all together at the end of the practice session and use it up the next day.
So was he giving you feedback at all?
No, he's one of those old timer
Yeah.
who you are supposed to learn from him,
Yeah.
like steal the skills from him. He doesn't show you. And he gives me comments like, Kazu, it's still not centered. Like after I go, yeah, and he sees this and it's not centered. And that's the comment he gives me every 2 months.
Every 2 months.
Like during 2 months, there's nothing. There's nothing.
How did you keep your mental,
Yeah, how do you keep going?
strong and going on, with that kind of.
We are fed well, so good food, and I run back then, keep myself healthy, and we are in the middle of the mountains. That's pretty peaceful. And I still was going crazy.
So what did you do for fun?
Luckily, my hometown where my mother lives, it's only 2 hours away by car. So I did go back to my hometown once in a while.
Oh, you're lucky.
Lucky. It's just a pure luck. Any shape? You're saying you're gonna say something? Any particular shape? Any shape you can think of?
Can you do a sphere shape?
Like a bottle?
Like a bottle shape?
Yeah.
No problem. We need to just do it.
Wow. I was gonna say, whatever the teaching protocol was, it seemed to have worked in the long run.
Yes.
Now, this is something you have to get used to, right? Like the first bottle of the day, so smashing. Good. And yes, I have to ask you to get that tool out of the box again. Let me take this. Oh, got it. Roommate, she's in transition. She's going back to Japan for good. But she needed a place to stay for a month or two. Thank you. Thank you very much.
What a beautiful box that is.
Yeah.
It's
Did you
growing
hear
on me
what
minute
it
by
is?
minute.
Did you hear what it is?
Yeah.
It's Kida-san.
It's a beautiful box.
It is a beautiful box.
To keep all his tools in his workshop, right, where he's getting his training. The first thing they made you to make is
Tools.
and that's I was explaining to him the box that I made, and he says, "What about this one?" And it's very similar, close to the shape I just described to him, and he's like, "Well, try it and see how it works and how it doesn't work."
I'm using plastic one. Plastic toolbox.
You're using it?
It's light.
No.
It's light.
Hello, people. Ah, お久しぶりです。こんにちは。
So in certain parts of the parts of Japan, like Tokoname, the work craftsman who makes bottles all day, he would pour in one, make the whole bottle in one pour.
There's a few YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like one of the things you get when you do Japanese pottery is a guy, and I said, "Oh man, look at this guy," and I showed it to Kazu, and he goes, "So this guy is not a studio potter. He works for a factory, and this is all he makes." And he's wearing slacks and a button-up shoes.
That's
And
not
he
what
does
you
the
do.
bottle like this, one pull.
It's not necessarily a good pot, bowl, but it's a bowl. In this case, bottle.
I think that one video of the English pottery showed us the
Buttons.
buttons, yeah.
Isaac buttons.
Isaac
Yeah.
これですね、どこだ
Yeah,
ったか
that
な
was pretty amazing. It sure put things into perspective.
Oh, right. I brought my tool, like this, to New York, Washington DC, and when I did a workshop there, it broke. This is not the one I always use, but
So did you make that tool?
no, this is just something I had here. Oh, there. I just used like a brush or something like that, painting brush or something. Is it considered a sphere, Jennifer? When I get a twist, when I make a bottle, I just go a different direction. It usually works. Because I learned how to throw this way. When I took a few classes at school, and this is how you do it, yeah? I do spend time or think about spout or the top of the bottle because it's like a spout pouring this vessel. I want it to function well. Sometimes I go through. I have to fix it. Thank you. Would you take that away?